Welcome to the world debut of the all-new 2023 Toyota Sequoia. It's a Tundra for your family, and by that I mean your entire family, because it can seat up to 8 people. In this video, I'm going to show you every feature that it has. This is the Trd Pro, the most off-road capable brand new Sequoia, and I'm going to sit in every seat inside because this is what it's about. This full-size SUV can tow up to 9,000 pounds. It can hold 8 people and do it comfortably and in style. So let's take a look at this Trd Pro version. First, let's take a look from the side before I jump in it. And it shares its chassis, the frame and the suspension and the power plant with the new Tundra. So it's a fully boxed frame in this case. Of course, the wheelbase and the overall size of this SUV are quite different, but the suspension and the tires and the wheels, let's take a look at that first. So right here, for the Trd Pro, it's an 18-inch wheel. It's a forged BBS wheel, which makes it really strong, according to Toyota. Wild Peak all-terrain tire. This is approximately a 33-inch tall tire, very similar, in fact, to the Tundra Trd Pro. And this is what for its off-road capability. We don't get the Land Cruiser in the United States, so this is the answer for us. For a full-size SUV that's off-road capable, and it has a lot of other tricks up its sleeve inside, because it'll have a low range, it'll have multi-terrain select, I'll show you in a second, and it also has cruise control. But because it's a little bit wider, it also has marker lights here on the fenders, and of course the marker lights in the grille. So this is what's also available on the Tundra. Of course, Toyota script right there. And here you can see the radar system and the camera that's part of the 360-degree view camera system. Underneath the hood, every new Sequoia 2023 model will have a hybrid power plant. It's the iForce Max, 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. And because it's an off-road worthy model, it has this beefy, strong step. Check it out. So let me jump inside. Can you walk around? Ta-da! What does this remind you of? Well, if you've seen the new 2022 Toyota Tundra, you will be really familiar with this interior. Because it's a Pro, it has Toyota spelled out here on the passenger side. Leave the comments below about what you think about that. But the console, the dashboard, a lot of the technology of this new Sequoia, of course, is shared with the new Tundra, including the steering wheel and the shifter. It's a 10-speed automatic transmission. Of course, it's a hybrid. Fuel efficiency, numbers are not available yet. I'll get to that in a second. As far as when it's going to be available for sale, it does have, because this is kind of a top-of-the-line machine in their lineup, it does have a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster here, 14-inch screen here with the latest multimedia infotainment screen, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and of course, I fit here in the front because it's basically a Tundra. And on top of that, they lowered the seat a little bit, according to Mike Swears, the chief engineer. And it's very similar to the seat height actually in the Tundra, just so you have more headroom. And I do. This one has this regular sunroof, but also on their capstone model, you can get a full panoramic sunroof option as well. So let me get in the second row, because that's where things change on the all-new Sequoia. Remember when I said it will seat up to 8 people? Well, not this model particular, because it has captain chairs. So let me get into this for the first time and show you exactly how I fit. I am just a hair under 6 feet 3 inches tall, and I have pretty long legs, and I have a ton of room right here for my knee room. Very similar console layout to the current Tundra, and of course I have climate control system, vents. I have my 400-watt outlet right here and USB-C outlets down below, and really comfortable actually, these captain seats right here. So now, by the way, I also have a shade here on the window. You can also get a shade similar to this in the many versions of the Toyota Tundra as well. That's pretty handy if you're off-roading in the desert and you want to be shaded, you can do that. Now, let me tumble this seat forward and show you how that works. You just kind of pull one lever. It's a one lever operation. And now, I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of a staircase. It's got this plastic covers here on the back of the seat, below the seat, and it's really a staircase. So now I can start to climb in. And here's where things get really interesting, because since this is basically a Tundra underneath, you have a solid rear axle underneath this. And because of that, the floor has to be a little bit taller. Many other competitors in this segment, like the Chevy Tahoe, like the Ford Expedition, Nissan Armada, and some others, have independent rear suspensions. And see, my head is starting to hit the ceiling, so I'm not super comfortable. These seats also slide, so actually this is pretty handy. Look at this. I can actually put this seat down, bring it up, and I have actually knee space. With this third row slid all the way back, I have leg room, even though my knees are a little bit tall, but I have limited headroom. So that may be one little detail that's not perfect in the new Sequoia. Here I also have a little shade. How cool is this? I haven't seen it in a full-size SUV like this until now. Now let me show you the trunk space area, because this is where they innovated a little bit more. Of course, this is a premium SUV, so this is a power lift gate in the back. And here I want to show you this, because this is a 40-60 split right in the back here. And you can move it by actually using this lever, and you can move it separate individually. So you can bring it back, lock it in the center, push it all the way back, so you have a little bit more flexibility either for cargo or for people. So if I wanted to put more cargo in there, slide them forward, even without folding them. And then I have this shelf that I can move up into this position, and now I have a flat floor here and a little cubby hole underneath. Now I can move the shelf up to here, and then this is a cool feature and different from the current generation of the Sequoia. I can close this, and this rear glass opens separately. If you know the previous generation Sequoia, it actually had a power sliding rear glass, but now many of the components of the body are aluminum. So this rear tailgate is aluminum to save weight, and also it's curved. You see, it has a lot of actually curve inside of it, which means for those reasons and others, Toyota told me that they couldn't do or didn't want to do the sliding rear glass, but you still have this functionality. You see, and it's similar to some other vehicles like the Tahoe. Tahoe has a very similar feature. And because that shelf is here, I can reach in and grab stuff easily. So if I had something back here. So I think that's pretty useful, of course. And then I already mentioned towing, and because it's a truck and it has a frame and it has a solid rear axle, it will tow up to 9,000 pounds. And it has a little cover here that you can open where the hitch is mounted. This is a demo vehicle, so I don't want to touch it or break something. Unique to the Trd Pro, you got twin exhaust pipes in a very sporty fashion coming out straight on the driver's side out the back. If this was another version of the new Sequoia, like an SR5, a Limited, a Platinum, or even the new Capstone edition, this bumper will look different. It would be covered here, and the exhaust would be dumping downward. So the sporty one is a Trd Pro with a unique exhaust system. And most likely, and of course we can't drive this right now, most likely different kind of exhaust tuning sound and also the interior sound. I just love how kind of macho it looks with the once again with the marker lights, and it just gives it the additional width and I think kind of a macho presence. And if you look in general from the back, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Well, we can't get the Land Cruiser, but we can get this. Check this out. Because it's a Pro, it has this really, really strong, really beefy roof rack system right here. So you can bring actually, I don't have all the specifications on this, but I imagine this will hold a fair amount of weight. Will it hold a tent? I don't know yet. They haven't disclosed a lot of the interior volumes, sizing, wheelbase. Even though it's approximately the same size as the current Sequoia, some of those specs are not available yet. But when all the seats are folded down, so I could show you here. For example, you could fold these down like this, fold down the third row, and with that shelf system, you can create basically a flat area. So if this was a bench seat, it would be completely flat. And then maybe you can even put a blow-up mattress in here and actually use it as a camping vehicle. I think that's very useful. And of course, you have all the off-road capability with the ground clearance and the Fox shocks and the suspension system and the crawl control system in order to enable you to be very, very capable off-road. By the way, look in the center here. I promised you to show you. First of all, it has 2 tow haul modes like the Tundra, Tow Plus and Tow Haul. Like I said, up to 9,000 pounds. You have drive modes. You have crawl control right here, multi-terrain select for different off-road conditions. It still does not have 4-wheel automatic mode, but it does have 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low. So all those modes and features that you've seen on the Tundra are now available right here on the Sequoia. Like I said, there's going to be up to 5 different trim levels. We don't have pricing yet. The new Sequoia goes on sale in summer of 2022. Pretty soon you should be able to start ordering them within a couple of months maybe. I don't have an exact date. But then in the summer, you'll be able to actually get your hands on this. I think a lot of you probably are looking for something like this because you currently may have a 4Runner, but you need something larger for your entire family and your extended friends and family, up to 8 people. So there you have it, the all-new Sequoia. I just wish it would have had a little bit more space in the third row, but overall, pretty impressive so far. And as always, go back to tfltruck.com and tfloffroad.com and tfl-studios.com for everything trucky and also everything automotive.